All right, everybody, Rob Ferretti here, and here's a house update. So when I said I bought a house, I did. When I said I was going to modify the house, I am. When I said it was going to start soon, I was wrong. And the process is a little bit longer and much more costly than I was expecting. Here, we'll walk through the house. I'll show you what we did. Lowe's was having a Black Friday sale. So I went and like, oh, well, you know what? Let me just start buying up some stuff. And bought a new refrigerator, 2 dishwashers. That's one for the kitchen and one for the basement, because there's going to be like a wine cellar and another social space down there. So I'm like, oh, let me put a dishwasher down there so we don't have to bring all the glasses up and down the steps every time we want to do something. I got an oven, a microwave, a wine fridge, all sorts of like fun stuff, just to stack it up because I'm going to need it in a couple of months anyway. If I could save 40%, great. So next thing I did was, I also got a washer and dryer, because you need washer and dryer. This is the old washer and dryer. This washer was out of my rental house, and I took it out because it sucks. And when I say it sucks, it's got like mold on it and everything like that, and I'm like, screw this. Like, I'm tired of dealing with this. I ended up putting the new washer in the other house temporarily, and then when I move out, I'll switch them back again, because that. But I also, there was a tax credit, so I got rid of the fridge here. And I mean, I can install the new fridge, but I don't really need a new fridge here at the moment. But I got $50 for that, and they hauled it off, so it was like less space in my dumpster. So Jimbo calls me up and he's like, hey, Rob, this is my Jimbo voice. So these guys took the fridge out and there was water spraying all over the place, because when they disconnected the fridge, this water line's just like, so they went and turned off the water downstairs. And Jimbo took I'm taking the fridge out as like, Jimbo, you're getting evicted, which sort of, maybe, not really though. So they turned the water off, and Jimbo was moving out anyway. He wanted to move back down to his parents' place in Maryland. I know, I told him not to, but that's Jimbo's decision. So next thing you know, the next day he's like, oh, this is moving day, the day he's moving out, the day after I had the fridge picked up. He says that he wants to turn the water back on so he can shower, and I'm like, oh, well, whatever, it's one day, come over to my other house and shower. Next thing you know, he's like, oh, no, I found out these guys are just dummies. There's a water turn off under the sink. So I turned on the main water, and I just turned off this under the sink. And I was like, oh, okay, that Jimbo, he's a pretty resourceful guy. Then I fly down to the Bahamas. Down in the Bahamas. When I land in the Bahamas, I get a call or text or voicemail. I don't remember what it was from Jimbo, but the summary is, your basement's flooded. And I'm like, what do you mean my basement's flooded? And he's like, there's like 5 inches or 6 inches of water in the basement. Now, 6 inches of water is like that. But remember, a basement's pretty big. So you're talking like 1,000 square feet of 6 inches of water. That's a lot of water. And he's like, well, yeah, I was in the house and the heat wasn't working. So I went down to see what's going on. And there's water all over the place. And I'm like, well, Jimbo, isn't it kind of convenient that you just turned on the water and then the basement's flooded with water? And I thought like, he thought he turned this off and this flooded the house and it went down into the basement. Luckily that wasn't the case. I still don't know what it is. We'll go down and see if it's still wet. That was about a week ago. We'll see if it's still wet down there. Do we have a flashlight, Jimbo? I'm not really a germaphobe, but I'd rather touch this stick than that carpet. Where is that from, Jimbo? Is that in the house?
The what?
This thing.
I'm confused. What are you
Rug.
guys? Oh, the rug? I don't know where that was. I think it was already on top of this.
Yeah. And why did we keep this?
Because I didn't feel like throwing it anywhere else.
Okay. Okay. Oh, fucking hell, gross. It's all gross to me.
Oh, that's...
Things that I love doing, things that I hate doing. Things that I hate doing, going down here. But at least it doesn't look like there's a ton of water.
You see, when I went down here last, because there was so much water, it looked like the floor. And I went,
Is that
boom.
your foot?
No,
Oh, there was
that's not
water
my
over
shoe.
here.
No, there was all water here. And I stepped down because it looked like the floor.
All right, so good news, Jimbo, is that there's no longer water here.
It does smell ripe.
So this is filled with water. So where did the water come from?
Right here. This is where it was originally draining.
So it was coming out of that.
Yes.
This is the furnace. And this is like a pressure
It's a pressure release, I'm guessing.
Oh yeah, and like even like look at this blast spray around it.
Yeah.
That was coming out hot. Did you crank the heat up to like 1,000,000 degrees like thermonuclear?
Oh no, not at all. I think it's overflow from the hot water heater, and for some reason it kept sucking water in, thinking it needed more to refill, and that's why it was draining out of here. If that makes any sense.
So that caused water to go up to, I don't know.
It was probably about there.
Yeah, I didn't even see a water line, but the entire basement was filled with water.
Yes, and I waded through it.
This thing is gross.
Yeah.
Like, just to think, I'm going to be like drinking wine in my wine cellar down here at some point in time. And, I mean, it's a nice dry basement. Yeah, Jimbo, this was underwater, this big 220, 240, whatever it is. Not the worst electrical box, not going to lie. Not a bad basement. This basement to be this dry.
I don't know where all the water went.
Somebody's crunched up glasses.
Well, soon we're going to see the dead mouse.
Dead mouse, huh?
Yeah. It's over by the
You
water.
said that as I stepped on something. See, this, I'm not really confident that that's... Oh, look, there's a hole over here.
I think, well, dead mouse carcass was over there.
I want to know what ate the dead mouse, Jimbo. So, like, the water just bleeds into the ground here, I guess. Because it doesn't have a sump pump because it doesn't get wet enough. But it does have a hole. So all the water that's in the basement, but like there's not even any puddles.
Well, it's all wet over there, Rob.
Where?
Isn't that all wet right there?
I don't know if it's wet. This is a little damp. What is this? Oh, it's just a pipe hanger that somebody made. Get away from me. I hate spiders. So where's your dead mouse, Jimbo? You're making this big deal about this dead...
Well, no, I mean, when I went to go turn the water back on, turn the water off when I was wading through this, I went over here and I looked right over here and I was like, oh, there's a dead mouse there. I don't know where the mouse has gone since. It has floated somewhere else, I'm guessing.
I feel like there's a lot of custom supportage down here. I feel like they're like this log here. I don't think that was... I feel like the floor either like started to give way and they just started adding stuff in here. But so this, I wonder what's under there. I think they buried somebody under there. This is about the shape of a body. Still no dead mouse though, Jimbo.
You're really excited about this dead mouse.
No, I mean it's like, see, and this is all got to be redone. So this makes me think I got to almost dig up the basement, because I thought this was perfectly solid all the way across. This either has to be repaired or redone.
This warp was not here.
The what?
This warp right here was not here.
Get out of here.
I'm dead serious. This was not here.
It has to have been.
The warp in the floor?
I don't remember it.
Neither do I, and I was down here more than you.
So anyway, long story short, place is flooded. My next zoning or my next planning board meeting is going to be January 28th. So I'm gonna have owned this place, and you can't really dig in January or February, March. So I'm gonna have owned this place for a year and not have been able to do a damn thing with it. Even if the planning meeting goes according to plan, which we'll see. There's a question as to whether I need a bulk variance or a use variance. Come on up, I'll tell you about it. So, essentially, there's a question as to whether I need a bulk variance or a use variance, based off of the garage is going to be larger, and I'm thinking I need a bulk variance because a bulk variance means I'm going to have a garage, same structure, same principal use, which is storing personally owned cars. It's just going to be bigger or a different shape or be moved. That would be a bulk variance. A use variance is essentially, I'm going to turn my garage into a CVS, which I don't really plan on doing. However, that is an argument that I have to make during the zoning meeting. Other than that, there's a lot of things. I passed my historic review, which was important because the property is going to look proper. But there's a bunch of stuff on the checklist that just wasn't done properly that my experts have to address. So, process isn't going as I had hoped. It's double what I thought it would be, and I'm not a big fan of that. I'll be honest. The cost, when I'm like, cool, yeah, I'll just pay for this, and I was like, oh, okay. Okay, I'm not gonna pay for this, and then like now every bill that I get really annoys me because I'm like, well, I don't want to pay more money for this. We've already covered this. Why is it costing more and more and more? And now I'm hiring this guy and I'm not hiring that guy, and it's like you got to commit to it now. It's not like whatever, just sell the property. It's too much of a pain in the butt because if I do that, then I'm wasting a lot of money that I just put in to get the property and do all this the planning board, the plans, the architectural drawings. I can't get anything back for that. So I'm going to see this project through, and hopefully, and I'm crossing my fingers and have all of my experts crossing the T's and dotting the I's, that everything reads correctly and everything passes through January 28th, and then January 29th, we're celebrating, and we're going to be jumping up and down and saying, yay, we get to finally go get a loan to build the house. So, there's your update. Jimbo flooded my basement. Whoop, get off. Is that a cricket or a spider?
Nope.
That's a cricket. Good jump. There's your update. Door's closed. Winter's here. My house is still here. My new house is going to be nice. I can't wait to share that with you. I'm very excited about that. And there's a lot of stuff that exists on this property that's non-conforming, so I'm going to actually make this property, my new house is going to be more conforming than my old house as far as the historic is concerned, so I'm excited. Stay tuned. There's your house update. I wish I had more to show you, or any sort of demo or construction or plans, but I'll hold that all till I get all the approvals and I know what the final plans are going to be, because it just makes me cry looking at stuff. And this is Revision 1. This is Revision 2. Guess what? Revision 1 and Revision 2 cost me $10,000 to make those changes. And that's the only change. And that's... running out of lint. See you later.